Welcome everybody, it is Claudia with Patchwork with Claudia. In today's tutorial we are working on the Churn Dash block. To make this block we will need 2 squares of 5-inch color A, 2 squares 5-inch color B to make the corner sections. For the centerpiece we will need 1 square of 4.5 inches color B. And to make these side sections, we will need to cut 1 strap of 2.5 by 21 inches color A and 1 strap of 2.5 by 21 inches color B. So let's start. I have here already my fabric. So we begin making the corner section. So to make that, we are going to use the 5-inch squares. So first what we do is draw a diagonal line, and then from that first line we are going to draw another diagonal line on each side at 1/4 inch. We are going to sew on this line, on the outside lines, and we are going to cut in the middle line. So the first thing that we do is take both squares, the dark fabric and the light fabric, align them. We do the same for both light 5 square inches and with the dark square 5 square inches. So now it's time for we are going to sew here. We start sewing. Here you can see the process, better for this side. So now we are going to press the fabric, cut on the middle line, and then we are going to press again to open these two. We do the same with the other 2 squares. Here we already have these sections. Now let's work with the straps. So that we are going to do is to sew the straps using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then after we sew we press them toward the darker fabric. We align the fabric and join it a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Here we have. Now we need to press toward the darker fabric. We have this strap ready, and now from this strap we are going to cut 4 squares of 4.5 inch each. So let's do it. Here we have all our 4 pieces ready. Now it's time to trim all these 4 sections, and they need to measure 4.5 inches. So let's start here. There, turn around. So the first one is done. We need to do the same with all other 3. Now I have all my sections ready to start assembling my block. So I have laid out the block here. We are going to start sewing here, here, then here, here, finally here, and here. Then we press and sew here and here, and the block will be done. We begin sewing the first row using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then we continue sewing these 2 sections of the second row. And then we sew these 2 sections of the third row. Then we remove this and we start attaching the third section of each row. So now we need to attach the last section of each row. After we finish attaching these sections, we press the seam allowance to continue assembling our block. The seams for all 3 rows are pressed. Now we start sewing the first and second row. The first thing that we need to do is nest the seams together with pins, and we will get points and the corners match very well. So pins are very helpful here. So let's sew these 2 rows, a 1/4 inch seam allowance. what we have so far. Here is our ending block. It is 12.5 inches. As a recommendation, we need to be very careful when we are setting up our block, because in my last row, if you notice, I twisted this side. So then I needed to put apart this row and start sewing again so I can get my pattern. Because if we twist one side, then the pattern is totally different. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Subscribe to my channel, share the videos, and see you next time here in Patchwork with Claudia. Bye.